If you're in a relationship with someone who specializes in future faking, or a dreamer if you may call them that, this is someone who has a tendency of avoiding every important conversation and or responsibility today and postpone it to a future date in an attempt to evade responsibility and accountability. You will notice that if you don't have strong and healthy boundaries to protect your truth, you will slowly begin to voluntarily avoid your own truth and reality and allow yourself to also learn to live in the future that you are promised. Once you ignore your truth and reality and believe their lies, once you ignore the fact that you've been lied to over and over, you will slowly begin to lie to yourself and convince yourself that if today was tomorrow, things would be better and different. And so before you know it, you will also learn to live in the illusion of a future that doesn't exist because you've bought into the lie that things are going to change in the future. You see, a promised future can only be true in the presence of changed behaviors today. If someone is doing nothing to change today, then the future they've promised you does not exist. Because the future they are promising you is in their behaviors. People live more in their behaviors than they live in their words. And so if you want to know where they are going, you can simply look into what they are doing. What is it that they are willing to commit to? You see, people can only keep doing the things that are either benefiting them or that they can get away with. And so if they can get away with lying to you, then there is no need for them to change. And this is where it's fully your responsibility to begin to reflect on the quality of your relationships with people and realize where you've been abused over and over without any change, and decide to remove yourself from that environment without any reservation. Choosing to stay in any relationship or environment where you've been violated over and over is an act of self-betrayal, and that cannot be blamed on anyone else. And I know this is not the kind of language we want to use or that we don't think we should be using when we are addressing victims. But sometimes victims need truth and strength more than they need sympathy. Because when we continue to sympathize without offering solutions and or helping them to summon their courage to leave toxic relationships, we become enablers. We make it seem as if it's okay for them to stay in toxic places because they don't have too many options, but that's not really true. You do have options. It's just that sometimes we don't like the options we have as compared to what we are used to. But you see, those options are only temporary. They're only supposed to serve you and to help you get out of a very bad place. And so sometimes it's okay to accept a certain discomfort that comes with the pursuit of your freedom. It's not to say that that's always going to be the quality of your life. There will be change when you come out. Eventually, you'll be able to redefine yourself and create the kind of meaning and satisfaction that you want with your life outside of an environment or relationship in which you were restricted and or abused. We need to learn to embrace change and to give ourselves permission to pursue it at any cost.